let's just use that and transfer to this week's round of action. And yes, we can carry on with you guys since we're on the topic. And second game for Amorim, receiving at home Nottingham Forest, and it's another loss. So Amorim is actually, having a tough time, starting his career at United. Obviously, you've said, and we all agree with the fact that he does have credit in the bank. He just got here and he's getting used to the league. But is this the kind of game that you should be losing? To give credit again to you guys, I thought you were the better team, and I saw a better Manchester United. I thought you dominated the whole game, and again, just small little stuff and major errors, just comes to bite you in a bum bum. What do you think? Is that a fair analysis?
That's all it was. It was major errors that cost us the game in that one. The Onana one, which came from the Bruno mistake. That's I believe the third goal, which was a confusing moment with Martinez, Onana, delete. That's what cost us the game, honestly. When you look at the whole game, like it was the main thing. So yeah, I mean, Amorim, he was always going to have a tough time, and that's why for me, pressing on to Ten Hag was not necessarily going to change us and carry us through and everything. That's why I didn't get hyped about the victories we had when Amorim came, right? So he's got a tough job. Like, that's the thing. That's the whole thing about Manu. Most people are like so quick to go to the manager, but we're now seeing the players for what they are. Okay, it's not like they're terrible players, but do they have the level that we expect them, especially for a Manu team? That's what we're trying to find out. We can't rule them out just yet, but we're going to find out, and that's the good thing. So, yes, I would say this game we should have lost. The errors made it so that we lost. And, he's going to have to learn from it and see who he can trust, because these guys cannot be trusted for the most part, Onana.
But then who do you, until January, you're stuck with them, basically.
And I think it's going to even go to the summer.
We're not going to sign, yeah.
We're not going to get nobody. That's
exactly. So he's in trouble there. How are you going to get a manager and then not back him financially? That's great.
I mean, the manager,
signing,
it was an emergency. It was an emergency, manager signing. So I don't think they had like the contingency plan with, the signing and the backing. I think if it was an emergency.
If it was an emergency, I think it's a bad play, because you had Van Nistelrooy. Okay.
That's what I was saying from the get-go. Early in the season, I'm like, why do this revamping right now? Give him at least, I would have said to the end of the season, a lot of people were against that, but give him at least January, like get stuff together, because now he's here and it's not a miracle pill. Like, things are still weird. We changed the system, we're changing things, but what's the payoff, right? It will take time. I'm saying he's not a bad manager. I know he's going to do his part, but can he trust those players? All right. So I'm thinking that's going to be summertime where we can actually revamp a little bit. But until then, he's going to have to do his best with what he's got. Maybe find a solution, find a formation, find an 11. All right. I think that's as well something that he needs to kind of go for, to find an 11 that he can trust. And we're seeing that here and there, with Ahmad, with the defense, the back line as well with Mazraoui and stuff. Once he finds those players he can at least trust a little bit, then maybe we're going to see a little bit more consistency. Otherwise, things going to carry on the way they started.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. Honestly, I preferred us going through this, because I feel like every time we've changed manager, we've had like a crazy bounce, and then it felt like we were better than we are. So now we're going through the horrible part. We're gonna lose games. And he was saying it himself, which I think that's probably the thing I've liked most about him, that he's been pretty honest with the press after having Ten Hag try to lie for I don't know for years now, but
trying to lie, just lie,
yeah,
blatantly lying to us,
yeah, it was just lie, yeah,
making us
just lie.
fool.
Just saying nonsense. So at least a guy that just says it how it is, and it's gonna take a while. And as well, it's a new system, so a lot of guys are playing out of position right now, out of position. So we have to see who can actually fit in the system, and I think that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to experiment kind of every game, putting players in and out. I do think a lot of people are like going on the players. Oh, they're so bad. I think this squad is better than it. Well,
But you do have a lot of players that are not performing well. I mean, like I saw Martinez today. He looks a shadow of himself. You know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players out there. Obviously, Dalot has been looking crazy since he missed that chance. I was like, all his confidence is gone with it. He's actually a decent player. He's a player that I actually like. But I mean, it looks like he's lost all confidence. We know about the Rashfords and the Hoylands and all those guys. We know that they're just going through a bad patch. I actually think Hoyland is not even going through a bad patch. I just think he's not a good player for me. I mean, I don't know what you think of this guy, but he's not. He's certainly not United level, you know, for me. And yeah, so you have players like that. Obviously, Euro. I'm not going to say anything about Euro. He's a young kid. He's what, 19?
And Hoyland is 20.
No, Euro, Lenny Euro.
Yeah, but I'm just making a comparison. Hoyland is also 20.
He's 20. But yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. But I mean, for me, I could be wrong, but right now I just don't see somebody who can, you know, what you guys had.
It's not to the level.
You guys had this kid up front that came from your academy. It was in Makeda or something like that. He came from your academy. Italian dude.
Yeah.
Back in the days.
Yeah.
And this kid came out, and you could see that it didn't work out for him in the end, of course, but you could see that he had something, and that something at his age, I don't see that in Hoyland right now. Yeah, you will get a couple goals, but I mean that's just my opinion. I'm interested to hear what you think about that, because it's your guys' player. But yeah, there's a lot of players that are not in form, and if like you say, he doesn't have money to replace them, so he's stuck with them. So what does he do?
I think. Well, sorry to on the Hoyland, I think he has something there. I think he can be a good player. Like we said, it's only 2021. He has. Hopefully, he's gonna have a bit more time. I think he's not a player right now that should be starting. Like, he's not a player that should be starting in a big club. He should be a second striker. But we've put him in a position where he has to be the main man. And I mean, he's gonna get his goals. He's like a 1-in-3 striker right now. He's gonna get his goals here and there. Which, if he was, let's say he was in a Arsenal or a City, that would be fine. Like a 20-year-old striker, you're getting goals every 3 games, like stuff like that. You're coming on and getting goals. That would be fine. But because of the situation he's in right now, it looks worse than it should be. But I think there's a player in there. I think there's a player in a lot of our players. I think the squad is not as bad as people think. But I just think because of the whole atmosphere of the club. And I think we're seeing now that it's not just like well, that's what I was thinking anyway. But I'm hoping people are seeing now that it's not just, we just got to change this, or we just got to change that. We just got to change it. That's why I was, with the Ten Hag thing, I was on the fence, because I was like, is changing him really going to change much? You know,
Ten Hag had to go for me. He had to go. It's just
no, he had to go for sure. He had to go for sure. But like, if people were acting like, oh, like this is like the end all be all. Like if we change him, like we're gonna be We're seeing.
You know, this reminds me. You know, the last years of Wenger. You know, at the club, he was like, you know, obviously he had a track record, right, with the years where he was great and all that, and people were holding on to that for a long time, right? But the thing is, Wenger had to go, and he went maybe 2 years too late. He should have left 2 years before that, before he actually left. because the way the club was just toxic. So whether you liked him or not, just for the good of the club, he just had to go. Even if you went for nobody, you know, in the end to replace him, but it's just because he is the problem. He is causing so much division, so he had to go. And this reminds me of, you know, the case with Ten Hag.
That's what the situation was becoming like, because, you know, you have the media, you have the fans, you have rival fans, like everybody was Ten Hag. When you talk Manchester United, you're talking about Ten Hag. Now that it's gone,
it was just so polarized, yeah,
it was super polarizing. But now that it's gone, we're seeing more of what's supposed to be seen, which is, again, the players. And to Thierry's point, you know, the thing is, it's not like they're bad, and that's what I was saying. It's not like they're bad players. It's just
I don't think so. I think you have a better squad than Tottenham. I think you have a better squad than probably Villa, and you probably have a better squad than Newcastle as well. So you should be doing all right. Yeah. If you have a better squad than those,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
the Nottm Forest will beat us. So it's not the players that are bad. I guess it's the mentality of the players. It's like there is no winning mentality. There is no like fight, and, you know, like today. We're gonna talk about it. The Chelsea game, you know, Enzo scored that goal, and he was going crazy. He wanted to take his shirt off. Like, that's the kind of thing we want to see, you know.
The passion,
literally, it's just that. It's the passion. I guess they're getting paid too much or whatever. They think they made it or whatever. We don't know, but they're gonna be shown. And I think under this atmosphere with Amorim and the way he's coming, being honest and pointing fingers, that's gonna show them even more. But it's gonna take time still. It's gonna take time to mold them into, you know, into proper athlete at least. Like, I remember the first game Amorim came and played, which was supposed to be the new manager's bounce game. They had less passes than the opposition. They had less miles covered than the opposition. Like, and that's pretty much
the training. They also did have a new system, brand new system that they've never played before. And you know, and it just came in a couple of days. They just had to change what they've known for however many years under Ten Hag, and then just like, because the guy, I think he had 2 or 3 days. I don't even know how many training sessions he had. So obviously that will come with the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terry, do you have something to say?
No, I was gonna say, like, that comes back to my point where I was saying we like physicality, because we have a lot of players that just can't run. Like, so many players just can't cover the miles. And like in the Prem, if you have a physical team, like, you will at least have a certain level just by being big and strong. Like, even if you're not that technical, like we see teams like Nottingham Forest, they just bullied us. Like, it was just like strength. Like, they have like maybe 3-4 like technical players, but the rest, they're just big, strong, fast guys. They can get around.
That will run, that will cover miles and stuff.
That will cover ground.
The only one in our team that's doing that is Ahmad, and that's why he's like the standard right now. Like,
Ahmad,
why can't you guys?
I think he has a big future under Amorim, because like today, the fact that he's the one that stayed on and all of these guys were getting subbed off just shows what Amorim thinks of him.
Definitely.
And he was definitely your best player on the day. But so fair enough. We'll see what the Amorim era looks like for you guys. But let's just move on and go to another surprise result this week, which is Crystal Palace holding the champions to a 2-2 draw. Desmond Tutu, what's going on with the champs, man? Before they were back after beating Nottingham Forest. 3-0 in midweek. What's up with them? What is going on with the champs?
Man, I think that they may be done, because they were talking this week. They were like, "Oh, De Bruyne is back."
You said that for a couple weeks. Done.
No, but I think they may be done, bro. I keep saying it, but like this week,
January yet.
especially with De Bruyne coming back, they were like, "Oh man, De Bruyne is coming back."
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
we're gonna do bits. Did you see against Nottingham Forest? You see the difference, blah blah blah. But the thing is, like, I just feel like anytime they play a team that's gonna go at them, and that's going to press them, and that's going to run. Like we said, we're talking about physicality. When you're playing Gundogan and Bernardo Silva, which are two great players, but they can get overrun so easily. So when they are your double pivot and you put Kevin De Bruyne in front of them, there's no legs, and people are just running. They're just running past them. They're just losing the midfield battle because they just can't cover the ground anymore. And that's what.
Just real quick. I think they have the same problem as probably you guys in terms of midfield lacking legs. When you have Bernardo Silva, when you have Gundogan, who's like 33, 34. And
exactly.
For me, I think this Rico Lewis guy is overrated. For me, I don't really see.
He's good, but
he's a decent player. But for me, he's a squad player. He can't be starting all this game.
No, it's not it. It's not it. One person I think that they really miss it right now is Oscar Bob, even though he was just coming through and shining a little bit. I feel like preseason, you can see that they were putting more accent onto him and the kid was showing off. I feel like that's what... the midfield is definitely a big problem for them. And everybody hopes that Rodri comes in and that fixes it. But who knows?
Maybe that's not done for the season.
Yeah, it's done for the season, but then I'm thinking about moving forward, right?
I think they're looking at that's what I've heard, that Zubamendi to come and replace him. But which is going to be a good signing, of course. But then what happens when Rodri comes back? Because they're two strictly DMs. Nobody, those two players cannot play anywhere else. So you have two world class. Because Zubamendi for me is a fantastic player at 6. Yeah. If you have two world class players sitting on the bench like that, well, one of them obviously has to have to sit on the bench. It's a waste for the other, basically.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, it's early and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. They're done because. How do you fix that? You can't fix that. You can't fix that midfield. Unless you're going to go and buy 3 midfielders in January, which I don't think they can because of the PSR. So how do you fix that? They're not going to magically have legs in a month's time, you know? So, like, he has a big
system, though.
But he's not going to start playing defensive and conservative.
No. It doesn't have to be conservative. It doesn't have to be conservative. I'm just thinking, and I might be wrong, but when they had Alvarez, they could easily switch to 2 up top, and Alvarez will do the link up, and that helped them kind of back up the midfield a little bit, because they're a little bit too spread out, and that's why they have to cover all that ground, So, you have Savinho and Doku on each end. They're not Mahrez and who else was there?
Even Sterling at the time, when he was good.
Sterling.
That was a while back. But let's say Sterling. But with somebody like Mahrez, he's gonna keep the ball. I don't see that so much with Doku and Savinho, even though they can. But I don't know. I feel like it's more than the midfield. That's all I'm trying to say.
But even the back line, I mean, Kyle Walker is done. Like, we can agree on that. Like, Kyle Walker is looking like he's looking peak right now, bro.
He looks worse every game. Like, I think you should just put. I can't understand why he keeps putting him out in the first team.
Yeah,
he just needs to put him out of his misery. Like, just come on, couple. Just glory last year for you. Just jubilee here. Come on, you can't punish him like this. You can't punish him. The guy cannot play 90 minutes anymore. It's done.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how they fix it. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe, but they do miss Alvarez. But they have what they have. I think most teams cannot really buy in the summer. At least the big teams, they spend a lot in the window, or they maybe didn't spend a lot because of PSR, so they can buy anyway. So. I don't know how he fixes this, and I don't know if anything will change for them because it looks like without Rodri, nothing can work. And I saw this. That's probably another debate for another time. And obviously, it's only been 10 games because that's 1 win in 9 now, so which is very peak. But I saw a guy online saying it's very harsh. So I'm not trying to say this is my opinion. But saying how are we comparing Guardiola to Ferguson? And he had you remember that game when we played Arsenal and we had 8 defenders and we won 2-0. I think it was FA Cup. It was a long time ago. We had a lot of injuries and we played 8 defenders pretty much. And we won the game 2-0. And he was See, Ferguson knew how to deal with an injury crisis, and this guy lost one player and he cannot do anything. And he was saying like, and he was saying basically that's the difference. I'm not saying that's my opinion, but like, hey, if this season goes south, like big south, that debate is gonna come back. Like
I mean, you can't really knock Guardiola's record as well, man. So
no,
anyway, that's his opinion, that guy. So
that's his opinion.
It looks like the malaise, so to speak, from the champion hasn't gone away yet. So we'll see what the future holds. I mean, I think pretty much most people right now are just waiting for the January window, just trying to reset, especially if you're like in a team like City and a little bit Arsenal as well, where we're gonna touch on to just a minute, just to kind of like trying to plug the gaps that are problematic.